Hello and welcome back to 3 Word Interviews. Before we start, don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell button to be notified of all our future videos. Now, this week, we're joined by Lexx.
Hello!
Now, obviously, I've explained the rules to you already, but what we'll get you to do is pick 3 words. You will then have to slip them words into the interview at any point, and the viewers have to guess what them words are.
Okay.
So, for the person that guesses all 3 of these, what are they going to win?
They can have 2 tickets to any one of my tour dates that they would like.
So, as you may have seen, obviously we put questions out on Twitter, so anyone could interact. We're going to start with one, and someone wants to know how you got into comedy.
It's sort of a really nerdy answer, to be honest. I went to university to study drama, and the uni I went to had a 3-year drama course, and then in the 4th year you could specialise in something theatrical or creative. And I went there wanting to do radio production, and they cancelled it while I was there. Then they cancelled all the other specialisms I was interested in. So by the time I got to my 4th year, the only one that really was left that I was vaguely interested in was a stand-up comedy specialism. But part of the course was you did 10 gigs, and you kept a portfolio of what had made the gigs go well and what had made them go badly. And I did those 10 gigs for my portfolio and got so addicted to it that I think I did well over 50 gigs for my portfolio in the end instead of the 10 you were meant to do. And just loved it.
Okay. And yeah, because I mean, you've mentioned your acting. I saw you were in a short horror film called Flamingo Close.
Yeah.
Was that one of your first acting roles?
I guess so. I mean, that was through a phase where I was sort of being in lots of people's student films. I think it's only a short, that film, but it was quite fun. Where were we? We were in St Albans or something, driving around like they'd hired a multi-storey car park for the evening, and we were sort of driving around it in the middle of the night with all these horror I can't even remember. I think it was a zombie apocalypse or something. Yeah, I did quite a few people's student films. You know, you didn't get paid anything for them, but you'd turn up and act to the best of your ability. But then that's the problem with acting, is you go and do somebody's short film, you know, you're playing Spider-Man hanging off a thing, or you're like driving around a multi-story car park being an idiot, and you have no follow-up from that as to there being another job to naturally go on to. Whereas at most gigs on the open mic circuit, if you did well, someone would go, oh, come and do my gig. Thanks very much. A short break while tea is delivered. Ta-da!
I mean, since you've done that, you've had a lot of TV credits. Obviously.
Thank you. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Of course you have. I mean, Live at the Apollo is quite a big one,
oh my
isn't
goodness,
it?
it's so cool, isn't it?
I mean, what was it like getting that first confirmation that you were going to have, you know, be on...
It was so surreal because I was at the Edinburgh Festival, and it was the last Friday of the festival, so before the last weekend, and I had just had a phone call from my PR person. I don't have a PR guy that hangs out with me. I hired one for the Edinburgh Festival. I feel like my PR guy called me, blech, makes me feel a bit queasy. But lovely Julian, who had hired to do my PR, rang me, and he told me, you've just won the Comedian's Choice Award, Best Performer Award, which is a lovely award, voted on by other performers, and you've just won that. And I was on my way to my agent's flat to get my car, I think, from where it had been parked for the weekend. And so I sort of got off the phone with Julian, and Andrew, my agent, was stood at the door, and I was sort of beaming, and I went, oh, have you heard? And he went, how do you know? And I was like, oh, Julian just rang me. Julian's not supposed to know yet. And I was like, oh, right, okay, well, they're going to give me the award later. And he went, oh, the award. And I was like, what? And he went, well, I can't say anything yet because it's not confirmed until Tuesday, but I think you've just got Apollo. And I was just like, what? Because it wasn't even on my radar that would be something I would get yet or at all. And then me and my husband had booked a hotel to go and stay at for just a couple of nights on our way back down from Edinburgh down to Brighton, and we'd gone to this spa, and we had a few days out doing a few activities. We went on a hovercraft across a lake and a few different bits and pieces, a nice sort of de-stress, you know.
Yeah.
And we were at that hotel, and I got the call to say it had all been confirmed.
Yeah. And do you watch it back? Are you one of them people that doesn't mind watching yourself back, or?
I haven't watched everything I've ever done back. I did watch Apollo back because it went out over Christmas, and I'm a very anxious person, and I was sort of, as much as I was really excited about Apollo going out, and I was ready for whatever backlash there was going to be from whoever on Twitter was angry about whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a single negative thing. And so I let myself watch Apollo because I wanted to kind of go, it did that, and it seemed to please everybody.
Yeah.
And it was just really cool watching it on TV, thinking, I've watched so many episodes of this, and that's me. That's stupid me.
No, it's a big deal though. Like the Apollo, it's
It was
big
cool.
names.
It was amazing.
And then you're super busy. I do a lot of obviously the research for this. You're heavily active on social media, especially Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And you run Comedians Cinema Club.
Yes, co-run it. I have to shout out Matthew Hyton, you legend. But yeah, I do help organise that and sort of do some of that down in Brighton. That's lots of fun.
Yeah, so you keep yourself busy though.
Yes. I don't like saying no to things. I think you get so used to in this career, the first 8 years were saying yes to everything to just scrape a living.
Yeah.
That once you're at a point where you're like doing all right, it becomes really hard to break that habit and start saying no to things.
Yeah.
And also, if people offer you these really exciting things, like if some of the best comics and improvisers go, hey, do you want to recreate a film in under an hour with us in a local comedy club once a month?
Yeah.
You don't want to say no, you want to go and play.
Now, obviously, I mentioned the social media, the fact you're very active on there. Let's go back to some of the questions you got from Twitter. Mm-hmm. Someone wanted to know, what's your spirit animal?
I quite like the idea of it being a hippopotamus because they look clumsy but are deceptively good at what they're good at. And I think I identify with that because I often feel useless and like, what have I been evolved for? This is a mess. But then when I'm in my natural habitat, which is the stage, I'm good. And I think I identify with that because I often feel useless and like, what have I been evolved for? This is a mess. But then when I'm in my natural habitat, which is the stage, I'm good.
Now, someone also wanted to know, when did you find your first love for the undercut?
It was when I shaved my head completely. So, 2015, I think. I shaved my head for charity.
Right.
And I quite liked how low maintenance it was. And I quite liked the shaved head look. But it was a little bit extreme and I didn't want it completely. But then as I started to grow it out, I realised how much fun the asymmetry was. And that's when, it sort of carried on from there really, because before that I had quite a normal haircut, or sort of symmetrical and stuff. But then once it was all shaved, it feels really nice. It's all fuzzy and soft. And also, when you've got a completely shaved head, you just can't do your hair.
Of course.
So it's not even like, oh, I don't feel like doing my hair. It's like there's literally nothing I can do to this to improve it. So I like that aspect of it, but I do like having a little bit more help with my jawline now that I'm aging.
We had another question saying, do you miss being a quizmaster? I think it's a reference to your podcast.
No, did somebody listen to that? Yes, I liked asking the questions. Yeah, that was fun. I used to do a film quiz as a podcast. It was, I do miss it actually. They were really fun. It was just an awful lot of work to research, 30 quiz questions and then you know what it's like trying to get a guest to a place.
Yep.
And the material, and then there's the editing of it as well. So I miss it, but I don't miss the work.
Somebody wanted to know also your biggest comedy influences.
Ooh, I think I'm quite influenced by Eddie Izzard. The way he acts out a scene, the way he kind of has a premise and then he's running around playing all the parts, and that is something I really like, and I think I've built into the way I like to do comedy.
Now, someone wanted to know, is comparing an undervalued skill, and what's your favourite thing about talking with the audience?
Right, two questions. Okay, is comparing an undervalued skill?
Because you're very good at it.
Thank you. I think it is undervalued, yes. Monetarily. Like the pay scale for a gig, say you've got a gig that's got 3 comedians on it and the compare is there all night, on and off stage all night.
Yeah.
Starting the room from cold, resetting it after the intervals, and is often paid less than the opener or the closer. And they can't double up. So often, you know, if you're opening one club, you'll go and close another one and you'll get 2 paychecks that night. The compare obviously can't do that.
Yeah.
Then I think because you can't make as much money comparing, I know I certainly stopped doing it for a long period of time. Like I've just started doing it again now because I feel like it again. But for a couple of years, I've not really compared because I just thought, no, do you know what? I want to be up there with the big boys, and I can't do that if I'm stuck by the ceiling. So I think it means that people that are good at it stop doing it, and then it does become undervalued. I love talking to the audience when that's what I want to be doing. And what I mean by that is sometimes I can get a bit bitter and a bit mardy about if I've been comparing too much, because comparing is like sometimes referred to by the other acts as like, oh, you're just asking who's been here before, and all the women make a noise and all the men make a noise, and you go, well, you're just trying to make them make a noise so that they get used to the fact that vocal noises are what we're looking for. Yeah. And then you watch other people go out and do these really complex big bits of material, and if I've been comparing too much, I just get a bit moody and think, I've got material like that too, I could be doing material like that too, thank you very much. So the times I love talking to the audience is where I'm not bothered about doing any of my material, actually, and I'm really satisfied with all the comedy I've been doing lately. Yeah. And I can find someone in the front row and genuinely dig in and play about and mess about and bounce off them, and I always think that's when it's best.
Yeah. And I mean, you're also married to another comedian, Tom Livingston.
Yeah.
Obviously at home, do you help each other with your comedy? Do you feel you can write for each other, knowing each other's comedy that well, or?
Well, he's an improv comedian, so he doesn't need material like I need material.
Yeah.
He is very helpful with me with material. I do bounce ideas off him and talk to him about what I'm doing. And he can be really good at helping me if I'm kind of like, babe, what is the right word for this? He's excellent for that because his brain understands, you know, like he doesn't write material, but he's making up jokes on the spot. So he's kind of got that. I think I'm helpful to him, but I mean, much less so because all his stuff happens through the group dynamic, so I'm probably way less helpful than he is, truth be told. But like, we did roast battle against each other a couple of weeks ago, and we kind of helped each other with that, and like that was really brilliant for me to see him write jokes, set jokes, and it's that really nice thing of watching your partner do something really well and kind of going, oh, you're really attractive when you're good at stuff. Like
and finally, what's next for you?
Next for me is my tour. I'm doing my first tour of the UK, so I'm off until July around the country. In the middle of that, I'm going to New Zealand. I'm going to Auckland to do the New Zealand Comedy Festival for a good month, 3 weeks of May, which is exciting. I'm launching a podcast this year with my very good friend comedian Will Duggan, where we go on days out and do a podcast about the best days out that the British Isles have to offer.
Cool.
That's been really fun to record and start putting together. It's just basically going out for the day with your mate and then going, yeah, it was for work. Here you go. That's been really lovely. And I'm directing a lot of people's Edinburgh shows this year, which is great because, well, either it's great or if this is the year a lot of Edinburgh shows are dreadful, it was me. But if they're really good, then it was me. So that's really nice, actually, is having a creative hand in loads of different narratives and ideas and jokes without the pressure of having to glue it all together and do all the rest of the stuff that goes with putting an Edinburgh show together. It's like I just keep getting to do the fun creative bit without any of the difficult bit, and I'm really enjoying that.
Nice.
It's a big year for me this year.
Yeah, as I said, well, keep yourself busy. That's what you're doing. So thank you for coming along. We really appreciate you coming down. Obviously, people can see you almost anywhere in the country over the next couple of months, right?
Yeah, best thing to do is find me on Instagram. I'm Lexx Laura, LEXXLAURA, or I'm on Twitter and Facebook and stuff as well, Laura Lexx. Yeah, I'm banging on about these tickets, so there's no chance the tour will happen and you won't hear about it.
So we'll put links to all the social media sites and obviously your website where people can buy tickets as well. So until next time, make sure you've hit subscribe, hit that bell, and we'll see you next time.